G'day everyone, it's the Christian Footballer back here for day 3 of my week as a pro series. Today the plan is I'm going to be doing a sprinting session in the morning at the park, and then in the afternoon I'm going to be doing a shooting session. But first I'm going to head back home and eat some breakfast. I'm ready for this day, guys, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've just had my breakfast and now I'm going to head down to the park for my first training session of the day. We're going to be doing some sprinting and I'm going to be placing the cameras in a certain way so that I can see my technique. I'm going to be working on that a bit today, trying to analyse a bit how I run and try and maybe tweak some things. We'll see how we go. I've watched a couple of videos about running technique. I might link a few down in the description. But yeah, we're going to get down to the park. I'm going to do a couple of sprints, maybe 5 or 6 different sprints. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've set up the cones. I've got a 20 metre sprint, 40 metre sprint and 100 metre sprint set up. I'm going to try and set the camera up in a way so that I can capture about 20 metres of running time and then analyse it. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 40 metre sprints with the resistance parachutes on first. I'm going to analyse them from the side. One, I'll analyse the first 10 or 20 metres of the sprint to see how my start is, how my acceleration is. And then the other one I'll do maybe 20 metres into it, starting there, just so that I can see how my form looks once I've progressed and I'm at full speed. So let's get into this. Okay guys, so with this one I'm just going to do a 20 metre sprint, and with this camera angle I'm going to be analysing the first 10 or so metres of the sprint, basically just the point where you go from 0 to your top speed, and I'm going to be trying to see if there's any tweaks I need to make or how that's looking, just how my takeoff's looking. And after that I'm going to do a 40 metre sprint, both of these without the resistance parachutes. And with that one I'm going to be looking at about 10 or 20 metres later on into the sprint where I've hit full speed, and then I can just watch my technique and see how it looks when I'm at top speed. So let's do this. Okay guys, so I've just reviewed some of the footage. I looked at my first 10 metres of the sprint, and to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I think obviously I could get a bit more powerful, a bit more explosive. That'll come with more leg work at the gym and more fast explosive exercises. As far as what I looked like when I got to top speed, it's basically what I thought it would be. The height that my knees come to is quite low, so I could definitely try and increase my stride length. That was another thing. Obviously, the consequence of having a lower knee height when you're running is your stride length's going to be much smaller. So my stride lengths were quite small. But yeah, the things I'm going to be focusing on going into these last 2 sprints, I'll do a 40 metre and a 100 metre sprint. With the start, I'm going to be focusing on trying to make those strides a bit longer, a bit more explosive, sort of bursting out there, almost like big jumps. And then with the 100 metre, I'll focus on the technique a bit more, try and get a bit more stride length, bring my knees up a bit higher. So that'll be the main things I'm working on. I'm now going to set the camera up to capture those angles, and I'm going to get ready for the 40 metre sprint. Okay, so I filmed those 2, and before I review the footage, I just want to say that 100 metre sprint was actually around 2 seconds faster than the 100 metre sprint I did on the first day. Now, I'm not sure how evident the change of technique is going to be. It definitely felt really different when I was running. I was trying to drive my knees up. It felt really strange. It felt like I was going slower than normal, actually. So I was very surprised when I stopped it and saw that I had actually gone quite a bit faster. But yeah, I'm going to review that footage and just say what I think about it, and then I'm going to head off back to the house. Okay guys, so after reviewing the footage of the 100 metre sprint, I could see that there was a definite difference in the technique between that one and the one I did before without trying to drive my knees up. You can definitely see a difference in the knee height. The knees come up higher and the stride length seems to be a bit longer. And that's what I was aiming for going into that sprint, just driving my knees up, and that's what I've gotten, so I'm happy with that, and it did actually benefit my time, so that's really good. As far as my takeoff and acceleration goes, I wasn't expecting to see any huge difference, just trying to be as explosive as possible when starting that sprint. But like I said before, I'll get better at acceleration as I strengthen those leg muscles and make them more explosive. So for lunch, guys, I made up 3 eggs with some capsicum, onion and mushroom in there, and then on the side I had an orange and a kiwi fruit. Okay guys, so for this small segment of showing you guys some tips that you can take away from the way the pros play and live, I'm going to be talking about video analysis. And more specifically, I'm going to be talking about analysing yourself through video footage. Pros use this all the time. They'll review footage of themselves and try and figure out what they could have done better, what went wrong, what went right in certain situations, and try and tweak their game and their technique based on that. This, for a starter, is a great thing to take on board. If you can film your games and analyse the way you play, you will be able to learn very quickly what things you did wrong, what you did right, and be able to learn from that. That's a really good way to improve your game quickly. This can be used for other things beyond that though. You can take it to your training and use it to analyse your running style, your shooting style, your crossing technique. For all these different things, it's really good to have a camera on so that you can analyse what things are looking like afterwards. If you're trying to improve your weak foot, then maybe you want to analyse that with the camera and compare it to that of your right foot and see what the difference is so you can tweak that. There's endless possibilities with reviewing footage and analysing yourself and making improvements and tweaks based on that. Hopefully you found that little snippet of information helpful to you guys, but now let's get back into the video. Okay guys, so back out here this afternoon. It's quite late, but I'm just going to do a quick shooting session. I'll probably make it a little bit shorter than what I was aiming for just because I'm going to lose light pretty soon. But it will still be a very decent shooting session. With shooting and crossing and this sort of thing, you really want to focus on good quality reps and not just heaps of reps just going through the motions. So I'm going to be focusing on quality of reps. But yeah, I'll be picking the shots that I think would be most relevant to my position and the ones that will be most useful to me. And yeah, I've just set that up, had my quick warm up, and now we're going to get into it. So let's start. To start off the shooting session, I have a cone placed where the edge of the D would be. The general idea is that you've been past the ball with your back to goal. You have a man on your back and you're trying to send them in the wrong direction, quickly turn and take a shot. With this drill, I did about 10 reps with my right foot and 10 reps with my left foot. Moving on to this next drill, it's just a right-footed drill. I've got a cone placed on the edge of the box here. This one's not straight in front of the goal, but off to the side a bit. So the idea is to do a step over, beat your man, and then try and have a shot for the far post. Generally in this situation, the far post is the target because the keeper will shuffle along to protect their near post. However, if the keeper is out of position, then sometimes the near post is the way to go. After this, I move into a similar thing, but this time for my left foot. Again, just aiming for that far post, trying to focus on the technique, getting a nice driven shot into the bottom corner. And generally, if I'm shooting at the near post, I will try and aim a bit higher. I do about 10 reps for each of those drills, and then I change the angle up a bit for my left foot, making it a slightly more extreme angle, and again doing another 10 reps, focusing on that technique and aiming for that far post. And after doing that on the left foot, I switch it back over to the right foot to do some tight angled shooting. And finally, to finish it off, I do a very typical wingers drill where I'm just cutting it in at the corner of the 18-yard box and shooting for that top right-hand corner. Okay guys, so I finished the training session. I was there quite a bit later than I thought I would be. As you can see, it was dark completely, pretty much finished when I absolutely had to. But it was a good training session other than that, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. Now I'm just gonna go home and eat the last meal of the day. I'll have my dinner, and then I'll sign off with you guys, and that'll be the end of the video. So see you back at the house. Okay guys, so for dinner I just had some brown rice, chicken breast, mushroom, capsicum, and some onion. Just one of the bigger meals as it's the last meal of the day, and I usually like to have my biggest meal at the end of the day. But after dinner I just chilled for a bit and then headed off to bed. So that brings us to the end of yet another video guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you did, then please hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel and haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button as well. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well in these weird times. But with all that said, I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you all in the next video.